One of the biggest times of the year for boom babies on Westcott Street, prom season. Quickly rising gas prices have become a concern for drivers in central New York, as the average price for a gallon of gas reaches about $4. Customers coming to local convenience stores to purchase the alcoholic energy drink Four Loko will find that the shelves are now empty. It costs about $50 to fill up the average gas tank. But for drivers, it means pain at the pump. Here at Manny's on Marshall Street, they're looking to profit from Carmelo Anthony's return to New York State by selling Mello memorabilia.
Never again will I be able to hug her, dance with her, laugh with her, cry with her, look up to her, or just be near her.
After hearing tearful statements from the family of Jenny Lynn Watson, the man who murdered her, Stephen Piper, apologized for what he did.
I stand in front of the community today to admit my sorrow, remorse, and guilt for what has happened.
The atmosphere in the courtroom was somber today when Judge Anthony Alloy sentenced Stephen Piper to 23 years to life in prison. I spoke with Warren Darby, who's the undersheriff for Onondaga County, and he told us that when Jenny Lynn's father spoke, you could hear in his voice the pain of his loss. He said, quote, "The pain is beyond words, that a father can't protect his daughter. I am numb."
You could feel the grieving. It's still very, very raw, and it will be for some time, by the family and even the rest of the community there. I had investigators that worked that case round the clock sitting in that courtroom, and they were just as emotional.
The community is grieving the loss as well and hopes that Piper spends the rest of his life behind bars.
Obviously didn't care, and that was supposed to be someone he loved, and then threw her in a park in the garbage, like, you know, like you're throwing out trash. It's not right.
Today, the Onondaga County Police are starting their crackdown on vehicles with tinted windows.
We see it every year. It'll go on in spurts, like March and April is when they usually target the vehicles.
Bruno Natali, the owner of CNY Solar Protection, told us that police can easily detect if the tint on your windows is illegal.
If the officer thinks the tint is too dark, they'll actually tow your vehicle.
The employees here at CNY Solar Protection just told us that they've had 4 callers call in to make appointments to get their tints removed. Those same callers have made appointments in April to get those tints reapplied.
I got them tinted because I have a black car and it looks nice. And over the time, I didn't really have a problem. But then I got pulled over.
Tinted windows bring attention to a driver and therefore give the police probable cause to pull you over.
Drug dealers, the gangbangers out there, they're not getting their windows tinted because they don't want the attention.
Hi, how can I help you?
Big Dip, a little ice cream shop in North Syracuse, has been serving up smiles for years.
My mom would always tell me stories about when she was little and she'd ride her bike to Big Dip. So it's definitely a very historical place.
Despite an increase in prices, the timeless tradition of going out for ice cream brings together community rain or shine, and it seems that not even the rain can dampen the spirits of ice cream lovers.
I see people coming every day to get their ice cream, to get their usuals, so it's a big part of the community.
A popular place in North Syracuse, the Big Dip has been operating for over 50 years. And despite the unseasonably cold spring weather we've been having, customers don't seem to care. The usual. Putting an unusual twist on a warm weather tradition.
People still come, even sometimes when it's thunder and lightning, people will come, wait in their car for a little bit until they see what they want, and then they'll get out in the pouring rain and get their ice cream.
Surveillance or spying? The controversy of putting up security cameras on the near west side has been stirring up talk for months. Police say that these extra eyes in the sky can help catch and identify suspects. It was footage from a security camera on South State Street that helped police with their investigation of a fatal shooting last month. The cameras would be placed on telephone poles and lamp posts and would run around the clock. It's places like here on South Geddes Street where police want to place 9 security cameras with a price tag of about $125,000. Now, people for the cameras say that having them on the near west side will help cut down on crime rates. However, they are facing some heavy opposition.
What happens is you put a camera on the corner, I'll go to the next corner. So take the money that you're going to invest in these cameras and put our people to work. Feed somebody. All right? Thanks.
The rally took place outside City Hall, and those who spoke were concerned not only about the placement of the cameras, but who was placing them there.
I will not be satisfied with a police policy being the only thing regulating the decisions and the actions of the police and their cameras on the west side, on the east side, on the south side, or any part of this city.
According to Michael Donnelly, it's not an issue of whether or not the cameras are effective. It's an issue of fundamental justice.
People in power in this city have developed a habit of treating the residents of the poor section of the city as if they were zoo animals that can be experimented on and managed and caged, and now they want to put up cameras to watch them. It's just plain wrong.
Alexa Olson, NCC News.
Believe that pit bulls are dangerous dogs. And it's a common misperception that you can't trust pit bulls, that they are aggressive and mean. But actually, as we've learned, their bark may be worse than their bite.
This pit bull may seem aggressive, but have you ever thought maybe he just wants to get out? Many dog kennels across the country are overcrowded with pit bulls. Some cities, such as Denver and Aurora in Colorado, voted to ban pit bulls. According to the Huffington Post, the cities consider pit bulls such a danger to the public that any dog with pit bull-like features can face extermination. Kimberly Smith is Director of Education at the Central New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals.
Unfortunately, people get the breed for the wrong reasons. Anyone that does their research on the breed, works with the breed, knows knows what a wonderful dog this is, and it's not a monster that the community has them labeled as.
Smith says pit bulls have many desirable characteristics. They're intelligent, loyal, and highly athletic.
Because they have such great qualities, they exploit those characteristics. So they train the dogs through beatings, through neglect, to fight, to be aggressive, and they're praised for that. So, if the dog's being mean and the owner's telling him, good dog, he thinks he's doing what his owner wants him to do. They're very, very eager to please their owner.
Which is why many illegal drug traders acquire the dog.
It's very sad. They will take this dog, chain him up outside, and leave him there. And they'll beat him to make him mean and aggressive. And that dog's job is just to live outside, tied up to a tree, and guard the drugs. They usually will, bury the drugs in the ground where the dog's on top of.
There are so many pit bulls and pit mixes at the SPCA, and if you're interested in adopting one and breaking down the stereotypes, or if you know anyone who is using their dog for the wrong reasons, you can contact the CNY SPCA at 315-454-4479 or look them up on their website, www.cnyspca.org. An Oswego County woman convicted for killing her husband in January was sentenced this morning. 70-year-old Joyce Malone will spend the next 10 years in New York State prison after she had shot her husband while he slept on the couch last March. The defense had requested to delay the sentencing because Joyce Malone is receiving treatments for advanced lung cancer. That request was denied. Oswego County Sheriff Rule Todd said that given Malone's condition, no matter what the sentence was, she will most likely not be able to serve the full time. The alert in the nuclear plant crisis. That's our top story in the World News Roundup. Japan continues to make headlines around the world today. Japanese officials have raised the severity level of the nuclear crisis from a 5 to a 7. This is the highest level on the international scale, and it is put in place to indicate a major accident that has significant and widespread effects on the country.